welcome or welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing really well, and if you haven't already, please do like and subscribe to my channel. And if anything within this resonates with you, you can always book in for a personalised reading if that is what you want. So let's see what we've got for you today. So we've got the Woodland Wardens that I'm going to use. We've also going to be using the Llewellyn, the Welsh tarot cards today. There was something else. The runes. Where have we put the runes? There they are. And we have runes as well. So let's get into your reading. So let's start with the Woodland Wardens first of all. So I'm just going to shuffle these, put into the forefront of your mind what is going on in your life right now that you are inquiring about, that you would like to know about, whether that's to do with your love life or career, anything that's just going on at the moment that you want to know more about. Let's see what we have for you. So I'm going to pop that down there. We have Mischief, the Martin and the Foxglove. So maybe this is a time for you where you're trying to, be an impish kind of person right now. Maybe you need a little bit of mischief in your life. Maybe you need a little bit of playfulness. So this could be accessing that inner child and making it your outer child, you know. Sometimes we can take life too seriously, take things too seriously. And when we do that, it kind of dampens the spirit a little bit, can make things more of a drag, more difficult. Have you ever been around children and you sort of, some adults can find it difficult to drop into a child's world, but once you do, it's, you forget all your worries, you forget all the things that you're supposed to be worrying about. And just for 5 minutes, you can have fun again, And I think this is what this is telling you right now is, but there's a message in this about, especially with the foxgloves, is about poison. And the thing is with foxgloves, there's a certain thing inside, I can't remember what it's called exactly, but it can be poisonous to you. But you'd only find it if you went looking for it within the flowers. So this is the kind of energy of the curiosity killed the cat, if you've heard that expression before. So it's sometimes being in a balance between, too much mischief can play havoc, can cause problems, can be disruptive. But a little bit of playfulness never helped anything. So I feel like this is about getting a balance, really. Trying to get that balance for you on there. What else do we have here? An ending, the moth and eucalyptus. I feel like this is the ending of something that's been dragging you down currently, that's been making you feel quite heavy, that's not been fun at all. And it's like you are, you're ready to step away from that now. This is like a death and rebirth time for you at this point. And the death card has actually been quite prominent recently in readings. So this is kind of suggesting that there's a time here for you to really acknowledge the ending that you're going through, because there's a brand new, beginning that it feels like is more fun. It's got more fun element to it. It helps you to access that inner child within you. It's helping you to really understand what is important in life, what doesn't need to be taken so seriously. It's a time for you to move through illusion as well. There's some elusiveness going on around you. I'm just going to pick one more, actually. Intuition, the bat and the hellbore. So follow your intuition on this. Follow your intuition on what you're guided towards. I feel like you already know what I'm talking about because this has been on your mind for some time, but you're not really very sure about trusting your intuition or even what your intuition feels like. So what I will suggest to you on here is you already know what the ending is that you're going through right now. You've already made that decision. You're already in the process of that. And there's a sweetness to it. There's something that it's been bittersweet, the whole process. But now you're in this sweet spot that's like, this is happening and it's already in the process. It's going ahead. Just allow yourself to be guided. So what you're thinking, what you're feeling here, that's your intuition guiding you. So watch out for the feeling. So I'll guide you a little bit on this. When the situation that you're in gives you a glad feeling or makes you feel light-hearted, makes you feel that mischievous energy, that's the way to go. When something makes you feel heavy and like, oh, makes you frown, I can see somebody like looking at their phone and just frowning when there's a message or something like that. That obviously is about the ending. So it's kind of guiding you in that sense. That's what I feel on this. So what are the runes talking about with this? What are the runes? So your current situation in terms of the runes, what do we have for you? Feihu. So you might not feel it right now, but you are in a very fortunate energy. You are moving towards a wealth, a richness in your life. The decisions that you're making, what you're working towards, this light-heartedness that you are looking at is bringing you a lot of wealth. And when I say wealth, what did I read the other day? It said the word rich was realizing I create happiness. So this is where you are right now, is that you're realizing, actually, I can create my own happiness. I don't need to look for that within anybody else. I can find this within myself. Let's have a look. What else do we have in the situation right now? Trust. We have Ingwas, which is a rune of trust. Trusting in the process. Trusting in where you are right now. Now this one goes well with the death and rebirth idea, because it's almost like putting yourself into a chrysalis. And it's interesting with that moth on there, you know, going from a caterpillar into a butterfly. There's a transformation that's taking place here. And Ingwas kind of represents that sort of vessel, if you like, that creation takes place within. And it's like with anything, you know, when life is created, there is a trust that things will turn out the way that they're meant to be. And you have to be guided by that, good or bad, whether it feels good or bad. It's just trusting the process. And that's what Ingwas is asking you to do here, is like, you are making the right decisions. You are moving towards something a bit more light-hearted in your life. But trust that process. Let's see what else we have for you. No way! We have answers as well, which looks a little bit like Feihu, but the other way round. So like the sticks are pointing down rather than up. It's funny that I'm clearing my throat on this one, because answers is the breath of the gods. It's communication. It's understanding, an ability to communicate yourself clearly, to have clarity, to, you know, this is all about that clarity right now. Is like you're emerging from that vessel, from that chrysalis, with a clear understanding of your way forward and being able to communicate that precisely, clearly. You are, I feel, a mischievous person. You naturally perhaps are a bit of a joker, or you like to laugh, you like to have fun in life, you don't like to take yourself too seriously, and you don't like to take life too seriously. But something in your life has kind of forced you to do that, or there's a real heaviness around that, and that's what you're letting go of here. And it really does feel refreshing what you're moving in towards, and it's helping and guiding you to follow your intuition. You know, I keep getting that song, is it Bobby McFarlane or something like that, Don't Worry, Be Happy. And it's just, you know, you have reached a level now, a point in your life where it's like you just need to be happy. You just need to let yourself enjoy the moments that you're going through. You know, there can be a tendency to perhaps overanalyze or like psychoanalyze things to a point where it's sort of, you know, you kind of losing grip on what you're actually looking at, what you're actually thinking about. So answers here is about that clarity and understanding, actually, I don't need to do that anymore. I know what I want. I know what direction I'm choosing to go in. And I want lightness. I want happiness. So let's see what the cards are telling us then on here. So let's see, what is the current situation talking about? Because it feels like there's an ending here, but you've already decided, like you're already seeing what the future is looking like. That's what it feels like on here to me. Let me see. Current situation. Whoa. Okay, so Temperance. There is a greater purpose here, and you have been biding your time. I feel you've been trying to work things out. Now, this is the Keeper of the Well, and it always makes me laugh because they look like they're underwater, and there's like a dog next to her there. I don't know how you can have a dog underwater, but so there's an element around this, I feel, of perhaps, of time being an illusion. It's almost like it doesn't matter how much time has passed. There's always people or circumstances in your life that it doesn't matter, you know, whether, say like for instance, like a best friend sort of thing. You haven't seen them for years, but the day that you meet up with them again is almost like you only saw them yesterday. Yeah. This is the energy I'm feeling around you at this time, is you are gravitating towards things or people that are making you feel your inner child again, and making you feel your younger self, helping you to feel refreshed, cleansed. It's almost like, you know, this wells are all about inspiration. You know, the keepers of the well used to give water and refreshment to the kings and people that are passing through. They'd be the maidens of the well. So that was purity, and this is something around where you're at the moment, is finding purity within yourself. So what is your challenge at this time? Is there a challenge here? Oh, it looks exactly like me at the moment. This is the 9 of Wands. Now, this is somebody that's been through some battles, that's really sort of taken a few hits, but keeps getting back up, okay? Trust me. You know if you're the kind of person that's built resilience, because you get to a point where you can still be happy even though there's stuff going on around you. And I feel like this is where you're at the moment. But the challenge here for you is a fear of being hurt again, a fear of having to go through more battles. It kind of puts you off because you feel like you're still recovering from the last one. And I can see that. I feel that. You know, this is somebody that's actually quite tired. That, you know, 9 is a number of completion. You've had enough of this cycle now, of this pattern. But I do feel within that Ingwas energy, within that trust in the process and the intuition that you've been guided, there are particular patterns or things that have been riding in your life that you've decided that doesn't serve me anymore. That does not resonate with my highest good or with my inner child. And so you've decided, I'm going to make some changes here. And this is a healing process right now. So the challenge here is allowing yourself to go through that. Trust the process. Things aren't going to be the same as they were. You've got your battle wounds, you've got all of those scars, but wear them with pride. You know, these are things that you've come through that make you who you are today. And all of the wonderful things that are about to come up for you are because of what you've been through. It's molded you into who you are, okay? They were necessary for your growth. We have the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom as well. So this is fate, changes, learning from karmic lessons. Ooh, let's see what you need to focus on. Where's the focus right now? Let me see. where's your focus right now? Okay, so we've got the Nine of Swords. So a lot of nines are coming out on here as well. Now, the Nine of Swords, there's a lot of worry. You perhaps are struggling to get off to sleep, struggling with your thoughts at night. There's something that's been swimming around in your mind, especially at night time, that you can't seem to get rid of. And it's almost like I can hear somebody saying, it is doing my head in. But it's actually something is telling you, it's almost like your spirit guides are trying to get to you in the night, maybe even through your dreams, things like that, because they want you to focus on a new direction, on a new path. They want you to step away from what is bringing you worry, what is creating that feeling within you that's like, this isn't working for me, this isn't right, this does not feel good. They're asking you to recognize this isn't right for you, okay? So you've got to step away from this particular energy. I don't know where that came from then. It was almost like an urgency of like, you can't keep beating yourself up over this. You can't keep banging your head against the wall. So the focus here is to recognize when you're doing that and why you're doing that. I keep seeing somebody looking at messages, getting angry about it or getting triggered by it. But that actually influencing and affecting other areas of your life as well. So it's almost like there's somebody or something in your life that is kind of creating problems for you. It's taking you away from finding that happiness within yourself. So it's asking you to access that mischievous part within you, access that inner child essence, you know, so that you can bring yourself back to you. Stop worrying. Don't worry, be happy. And let's see now, what do you need to let go of then? What do you need to let go of at this time? Sorry, a little bit. Okay, so the King of Swords. So it's actually letting go of control at this time, letting go of the need to know further ahead what's happening. So the King of Swords is all about a leader in communication, in intelligence, knowing, like bravery and courage and that kind of thing. It's not asking you to leave behind those things. It's asking you to let go of trying to control those things. So with answers being in your runes as well, leave behind the inability to communicate yourself from your from your purest form, from your true essence, because this is quite a harsh character. It can be very sort of cut and dried. There's a need here for more movement, for more, move more from the heart rather than from the head. So it's asking you to move more into that energy and to take, you know, a different perspective on how you communicate yourself. Okay, so that's what you need to leave behind on there, is like a stern communication method. Let's see what is your strengths then. What strengths do you have at this time? What are your strengths? Okay, I'm going to put those ones back and we'll take that one. Okay, well that's interesting, because it's saying here, isn't it, that you're letting go of like this sternness and this need for control, and actually your strength is emotional intelligence, emotional fulfillment as well. Your strength is an ability, and it was water I was kind of thinking about before, where it's like that energy of being able to intervene, being able to move through things, move away from things that perhaps are causing too much problem. You know, it's time for that ebbing and flowing around, getting that energy moving. Energy wants to move. It doesn't want to be stagnant. That's when we can hold pain in our bodies, when we're not moving enough, not allowing that energy. So your strength here is actually in movement and emotional intelligence as well. And that will lead to emotional fulfillment. Again, the Queen of Cups suggests about following and being guided by your intuition. It's almost like you already know what needs to happen here. You're already being guided by it. I feel like I'm telling you to suck eggs because you already know what I'm talking about. You already know because you're already in that process. You are moving forward. Yeah. There's a real energy here of something that you already feel intuitively is your fate, that you're being led towards. But you know that it means change. And that, I feel, is where it's difficult. And it might mean releasing a little bit of emotional energy. So it's almost like accessing your emotional self and really looking into, what is this telling me? What do I need to express here on an emotional level? And that's the strength. That is the strength that you have at this time. So what is the future then of this? Take that one. Okay, so the future here is saying about the Two of Cups. Oh, I can't do that. Hang on a minute. Oh, that one's turned over as well. So we'll take that one too. Okay, so the Queen of Wands and the Two of Cups. There's a lot of kings and queens in this. A lot of powerful energy. So this kind of, to me, feels like movement into a union of something that feels protected and safe. Now, the Queen of Wands really is an energy that stands in her power. Whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. This is just the energy that we're talking about. So it's an energy of real confidence, creativity, passion, that brings a lot of power. And it almost feels like, with all these kings and queens in here, that this is like a power couple kind of dynamic. It's like two people that really want to protect each other, look after each other, support each other, and they're like surrounded. I don't know if that's hawthorn or blackthorn that surrounds them on there, but it feels protected. It feels like this was very meant to be. There's a lot of sexual energy around this as well. Sunflowers in there as well might be symbolic on this. So that could be something that this is your future, isn't it? In the next 2 months, basically. So we're looking around the summertime that this is kind of something that's coming in for you. So if you were worried about the ending that you're going through and what is the new beginning going to be, it looks to me like it's to do with a union of some form. Feels very sensual, very romantic. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, there's something to do with shoes on this as well. That's interesting, because that just made me think of Clark's Village, which is in Glastonbury. So that particular area, if you are from the UK, might be important to you, or if you're planning to go around that sort of area. Maybe you're going to the festival, maybe you're going to Glastonbury Festival in July. That could be a forward movement for you. That could be where you perhaps meet this person. But yeah, if this is what you were looking for on here, there's definitely something about a union going on. Very interesting. So, do we have any advice for you? What is your advice? Oops. Okay. So the advice is coming out here. We've got the Three of Swords in reverse, and we've got Justice as well. I do feel there is a need for some truth to be expressed here. There's a truth that's needing to be expressed, and something about forgiveness. So that could be that you are wanting forgiveness at this time from somebody else, or you are weighing up whether you should forgive somebody else. There's an energy around this of sort of, it's taken a little bit of time. I feel like this has been sort of around November time, that could be relevant to this particular situation that you're going through it now, where there's this need for forgiveness over something. I'm seeing something about peacocks as well, which, you know, they're very flamboyant, aren't they? Very flamboyant. And you do tend to see them randomly as well in places where you wouldn't expect to see them. There's something about that. So maybe you've seen peacocks in a place that you wouldn't normally see them randomly. If you haven't, then maybe you will after you've watched this video. So do let me know down in the comments if that happens to you. But there's something about standing in your power with this and having confidence. Having the confidence, if this is about you needing forgiveness, then I do feel that there is a balance coming. There is, you know, this truth is actually going to bring balance to this connection. If this is you forgiving somebody else, then again, it's got that energy to it of sort of like, you know, whichever way round this is, it's going to bring balance, and a deepening of and an understanding as well. And that answers as part of your runes again is about that communication, a deeper level of communication that's coming through on here. It's interesting. I keep getting like 2 cards coming out at once, don't we? Okay, so I'm going to see then now, do you have any hopes or fears around this? What are your hopes and fears at this time? What are your hopes and fears? Okay, so the fear I feel is being on your own, not having anybody around you. So maybe you are at this time in the middle of ending a relationship, and there's a fear around that time in between getting into a new relationship. Well, as you've seen on there, it does feel like there is a relationship going to be like a real solid union for you in the next couple of months. So I wouldn't worry so much about being on your own for too long. However, it might be that this time that you're feeling alone is actually helping you to understand yourself. It's helping you to access that inner happiness, to feel that mischief again, be yourself without anybody else telling you what you need to be doing, you know, or not doing. It's just you being free to be who you want to be who you are, and being guided by that light. Okay, it's taking you within, and that's being that in that chrysalis in Ingwas, isn't it? You are sat in this, imagine it's an egg, for instance. You're sat in there, you know, you're quite comfortable, you're realizing things about yourself, you're gaining this deeper understanding. And a bit like that snake in there, at some point you're going to be ready to shed that skin. And when you do, you're going to realise why all that was necessary to be in there. I'm going to pick another card to go with that though. Your hopes and fears. Yeah, 5 of Swords as well. There's a lot of darker energy around your hopes and fears. It feels more like fears than hopes. There's more 9s as well on there. So there is this definite ending that's coming, like a completion of a cycle, and it's like feels like quite a big cycle. There's 3 9s that we've had in here, so that's like almost maybe the past 3 years this has been a cycle that's been playing out in your life. And the 5 of Swords is kind of talking about you taking what you need from it. Yeah, it's almost like you have won a battle here, and you're taking from your opponent at this time. So it's like you may have lost some things, but you will also be gaining some things that are better for you. So it's almost like the loss really doesn't matter, because what you're gaining instead is going to be far more powerful. Doesn't mean you can't grieve for the loss that you've had, but at the same time, don't spend too much time in that grief mentality. Don't allow yourself to indulge in the grief, because there are greater things coming to you. Let's see what your final outcome is here. What is the final outcome? Oh, we have 2 again. Wow. Okay, that's quite interesting. So we've got the Ten of Swords in reverse and the Sun. So the outcome here is that, yes, you are overcoming and healing those wounds. Do you remember we had the 9 of Wands down here as well? Let's see if I can pick that up. We've got the 9 of Wands down here as well, which was all about that, building that resilience, all the battles that you've won and come through, and that fear of sort of like, do I have to really go through this again? Am I going to have to go through this again? And there's a fear there of like, maybe I'm better on my own, but I don't want to be on my own, that kind of thing. You've manifested something here, and the outcome is that what you've been manifesting, what you've been dreaming about, is coming into fruition. And it's time to take those swords out to allow those wounds to heal. But I do feel like what's coming in for you is actually part of the process that's helping you to heal, because it's bringing something fun and light-hearted and childlike into your life. It's bringing something very, yeah, it's like, you know, that first time of the year where you feel the sunshine and it feels like you've just woken up and you want to go out, you want to do things, you want to go and enjoy it. It's a bit like that kind of energy that I'm feeling from this. So this is a really fortunate time for you, and all of that pain from the past is being put behind you now. You do know there's a way forward for you that feels much lighter, much brighter. Don't feel any guilt for that. Don't feel like you don't deserve it, because you do. Yeah, you are worth this. But you have to remind yourself of that. You have to allow yourself to receive it. You've fought many battles. You've overcome many things. Nobody's perfect. But everybody deserves a chance at being happy. And you are figuring out that you're responsible for your happiness. You're seeing that now. And you're realising the need to communicate yourself clearly and be guided by your intuition. It's leading to a very fulfilling, wish fulfillment, if you like. But you've got to get these swords out first, but they're coming out, okay? This pain that you've been carrying, it's not going to stay forever. Okay. I'm going to leave this reading here for you. If that resonated with you and you would like to go into that in further detail, then please do get in touch for a personalised reading. Other than that, I hope you have a blessed evening.